my message was, if you want to globalize, if you want to be a global person, you have to get to know yourself. You need to understand where you're coming from, where your values are coming from. That you need to understand and become aware of the way that you think is not how other people necessarily think. So, if you become aware of those differences, it's easier to reflect on yourself, because the reason why communication differences do occur is also because how you interpret it. So it's very it's very obvious if you want, for example, if I want to enter Japanese society, to very much focus on Japanese society and try to understand and try to get in. And then I will be confronted with all kinds of difficulties, right? But the difficulties actually do not exist with the Japanese. The difficulties are that I put everything on myself, right? It doesn't make sense to me. Japanese people do not change. Basically, I do not understand how they operate because I don't understand myself. I'm not aware of the way that I think, because in the Netherlands we all think this way. I have been raised this way. These are my values. This is the way that I think. This is what is important to us. This is what's not important to us. So these are my reference points. But if you don't understand your own reference points, it's very difficult to overcome these difficulties, because actually, if I become like puzzled or irritated or whatever, it is because it is not in line. I do not understand it, but when you become aware, oh, it's probably because I'm a linear active thinker. And the person that I'm talking with has a holistic mindset. Therefore, basically, we don't understand each other. So, if I realize that I'm a linear active thinking, and then I can adjust my mindset and try to get on the same page with the person with a different cultural background. So the way to globalize is really to understand each other and become aware of why it is that you don't understand somebody, why it is you get irritated with somebody.
Yeah, you're right.
Right. So instead of trying to study the world, study yourself. That was the message.
What study?
Study where you come from. Study, come and realize how you think. Study and understand where are what are your moral values, and where do they come from?
I don't understand what you come from. What do you mean?
Where do you come from? So basically, this is important to me. Like, for example, it's important to me not to show off in terms of money, or not to flash money, or it's important to me not to do this, not to do that. Those are values that you have to become aware with. But there are, like, for example, not to be late. Very simple example. But you engage with a person who's constantly late. Then you say, okay, why does it irritate me so much? Actually, it's probably because I value time a lot. But this person comes from a culture where they value relationships over time, being on time. So when you realize that, I cannot change that person's behavior. The only thing is that okay, so I am somebody who appreciates time. If I value the relationship with this person, I will need to take a step back, because that we don't share the same cultural values. If you don't understand yourself, if you don't know what makes you tick and why you think the way that you think and how you think, then you cannot do that. You cannot take that step back and look at yourself objectively. So my conclusion is that actually, if you want to become global, you have to understand yourself.
Of course, this is this morning session. That's the reason why morning session I'm teaching Spirit of Japan.
Hmm. Same conclusion. But where does it leave us to train companies like NEC and Toto?
Oh.
I have a question
Right.
about Dutch dignity.
Hmm.
I think that dignity is from the glory history. For example, VOC,
Hmm.
East Asia Company, and Dutch people has a small population,
Yes.
but Dutch people fight against and get the win against Portuguese,
Right.
and Dutch people had a good competition with British people. That's very glory history.
But you know, nobody would agree with you if you would say that in the Netherlands.
This is my idea. Actually, my opinion is not true.
I think that I think we do have some kind of pride.
Mm.
But I think our pride comes from our national soccer team.
Soccer.
Our national soccer team. It comes from the fact that we have a company, for example, Bagema, that is all over the world doing engineering projects to create ports and things like that. That is our pride. It's for example, it used to be. Unfortunately, it's not true anymore. But because we are such a tolerant country, which opens their doors for a lot of foreigners, and we live in a multicultural society where there's freedom for everyone. These are the things that we are proud of. I think we are proud of them. I don't think it has to do with VOC or that kind of culture, because I believe that a lot of people in the Netherlands think that's history, that's not me, that's hundreds of years ago, there's nothing to do with me. If you talk about French, I think they much more than us are aware of their history, and their recent history was also much more impressive than ours, of course. I don't think you can. Well, okay, maybe a few people, a very small minority, would be proud of their history in relation to the VOC and maybe our colonies, but we're talking about a very minor share of the Netherlands. It's like the big projects, the big companies that have a global presence that make us proud at the moment. I think, that's our pride, not our history. I don't think so. It's like it comes from the fact that we're a small country, and anywhere, in any field that we can make a difference, we can make an impact in the world, we feel kind of like, oh, we're not so bad.
Well, by the way, what is your confidence? We are people confident. What is this?
I think we are confident in the field that we have a can-do mentality. Can-do mentality.
For example, what?
For example, if you need to this project, we can do it. That we do not shy away. We are kind of challengers. Whatever comes our way, if there's an opportunity to do it, we will gladly pick up the chance and do it.